Welcome to it. Pitchside Podcast. Pitchside. Yeah, makes sense?
Pitchside, yes.
By the side of the pitch.
On the side of the pitch.
Get it. If you don't get it, forget
welcome
about
to it, man. How you guys doing? Everybody doing great?
Doing happy?
No, we're good.
Yeah.
I miss you, Seven.
I'm happy to see you, coach, because the last time we spoke, you were dodging me and my questions. So now I have the perfect platform.
Yeah, finally you got that opportunity to ask me those questions.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the right place for me to be answering those questions.
I also saw you turned into a model in the off season, man. You were
No,
modeling the change of outfits.
Trying something out.
Yeah.
I needed to shed a bit of fat, and I'm looking good. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, I'm getting there.
Coach, we've come back from the World Cup. Are we taking off where we left off, or how's it looking for you for the second part of the season?
Yeah, look, Neves, it's good to be back. Remember when during the World Cup we never stopped training.
Yeah.
We just gave the girls 2 weeks break just to refresh and come back stronger. And we proceed with the training, and we were very fortunate with a few friendlies, and there was also a tournament in between, Joburg Basari tournament, which we did well.
Okay.
We brought in our 14-year-olds from the development just to come and help the team because we didn't have enough players. We had a few injuries.
Yeah.
So the 14-year-olds, they did great in the tournament. And it's good to see that our development is doing great,
Yes.
in terms of the coaches who are playing for the senior team in Andisum Koi and Rodam Laut. They're doing a great job. And we back at it now. Yes, I think on Saturday we had a game.
Yeah.
We played in Polokwane, a very, very tough game.
Yeah.
A scrappy win, but
Just a 1-0 win.
Yeah, we'll take it. At second round now, all teams they've beefed up their teams. The season's going to be tougher for us.
Yeah. Speaking about beefing up the team, what have you done in the transfer market?
Yeah, look, there were a couple of few internationals that we wanted to bring them down.
Yes.
But it was but unfortunate that it didn't fall into place.
Okay.
Yeah, what really happened was a couple of few of European teams, when they heard that Sundowns that's chasing those players, they also came on board. So it was unfortunate for us to get our own targets that we wanted. But look, we brought 2 players into the team in terms of us trying to bolster the squad. If you recall, during the World Cup, we lost Bambanani Mbani due to an injury. She's out for the entire season. It's a blow for us, a big blow for us. But we had to move swiftly in terms of trying to get the replacement for Bambanani. We went all the way to Northern Cape to get Malebo Khoshawe from Richmond Ladies, which is a very, very strong player physically, and she's still young. She's only 22, So we needed somebody that's built more like Bamba, who can anticipate those passes and cut those passes that Sugar and them they like to play. So we needed somebody stronger like her. And also, when you recall, we had one of our CDMs who was loaned out to Tax in Dalia Smith, and we never got an opportunity to replace Dalia Smith.
Okay.
But we needed somebody who's very, very experienced in that position, As Oratlem Kwena, she's been doing well in that position, but we needed somebody who's solid, aggressive, When we were watching World Cup, we saw that Kolosa Biana was a right fit for us, So we brought Kolosa, and I believe she's going to add a lot of value to the team.
Amazing. Auntie Diski,
Yeah, bo.
new season?
Yes.
The aunt of football.
I need to stop saying new
Rakgadi wa
season.
bolo.
Rakgadi wa Polo,
Yes.
we're going into it. You've heard what the coach has said. What are your expectations?
Look, I think the development, the investment of women's football in the development side is very strong. And I think we are in a position where we can see the results.
Yeah.
Coach spoke about the Johannesburg Basadi tournament that took place, and there were a couple of the young ones. 14-year-olds that were playing with the senior teams. And if you see the way they just, gelled, and the gradual adoption that they had in terms of contending with the other senior players, because there were senior player teams we were playing with. JVW was there, TS Galaxy was also there. You could not tell the difference between those young girls and the senior players. So I think it goes to speak volumes in terms of what is done in the development stages. And I think beefing up teams with the young ones and also the pieces of experience that you do have, like Abo Andy C, where in the team, Boba Abo Mazet, it does kind of of help, unite a team and bring the results we do. So I'm really looking forward to the next phases of football.
How different is the development in the ladies' team versus the men's team? So, for example, back in the day, you'd have guys from around the country being taken, for example, to a school of excellence,
yes,
where they'd stay there. Now, for the ladies, are we seeing that sort of structure starting?
Yeah, we are seeing that sort of structure coming, but it's slow, gradual change. We wish maybe it could be a little bit more aggressive. And, Mamelodi Sundowns is a team that has placed themselves as, the bar.
Yes.
Because there's not a lot of...
I like it. Just say that again.
Yeah, Mamelodi Sundowns has set the bar. They've set the standards, and which are somewhat, hard to challenge, but I think we need to be getting into the spaces that if maybe the association or the federation isn't implementing specific spaces to do that, then teams can come on board to do that. Because there is so much talent with these young ones, but I'm hoping that there will be, more structures that are really investing in that kind of thing.
100%. I think it's important to have seen how amazing the World Cup was. We've also seen how in leaps and bounds the team has grown and other teams are now coming on board. I don't want to throw shade, but there's two other teams that really need to come to the party,
Definitely.
It's important.
Yeah.
Sugar? Now they've banned me from going to the Calabash. They say I don't give them a chance, so don't be scared. Me and you will be outside Gate M
Say
together.
it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
I withdraw chair. I withdraw chair.
I just arrived.
We just got here.
Sugar, looking at things from your perspective as a former player, women's football, how do you see it?
To be honest, Naves, it's unbelievable the growth that is taking place. I strongly feel it's long overdue, and it's really good and exciting to see because the women have been raising their hand to say, give us the platform, and then we'll show you what we can do. And the platform was given, and we've already seen what they can do. We've got a team in Mamelodi Sundowns who's won the CAF Champions League. We've got Banyana winning the AFCON. We've got Banyana going to the World Cup. We begin to know, seeing some of our South African girls playing overseas, getting to play for the big teams that we would normally just watch on TV, and seeing one of our own making it overseas and coming from the lower levels of football, from Sasol League to the Hollywood Beds to the national team overseas. That's what is really exciting to see, and it gives. We've got more people who understand football, who 100%. Are women, your Diskis that understand football. 100%. And the platform has been given. It shows that we're really a rich country that has a lot of talent, and the more we present the platform, like Auntie Diski said, she said hopefully more stakeholders participate in the advancement of the game. And you've seen how Coach Jerry has devoted not for so long. And what he has always been advocating for now is practically being seen. And you're given the platform and you live up to the expectation. It's really wonderful to see women also rising up.
Coach Jerry, back to you. We've set the bar as Mamelodi Sundowns on winning the trophies, on even in the league. It just, I remember back in the day, Coach Peter would always say, those ladies, they don't play those ones. They give you 5, 10. How difficult is it to maintain that? Because now everybody is trying to catch you.
Yeah, Names, before I can come to your question, just go back to what Sugar said. When you look at Mamelodi Sundowns today, as much as we are currently ranked number 1 in Africa, it's not something that happened overnight.
100%.
We've built that team. It's been more than 10 years now.
Yes.
Over a decade, working with the girls and trying to find ourselves and trying to make the girls understand the philosophy of the team. How do we play? What is it expected of them? And I'm really happy to see that they responded well in terms of understanding where we want to be as Mamelodi Sundowns. And also coming back to your question in terms of us trying to maintain to be on top, it's very, very difficult. It's not an easy one, but mentally wise, we have to be very, very relentless in terms of us trying to stay on top. Even when a bird is sitting, we're on top of the tree. They keep on making noise and say, wow. I always tell my guys that by us sitting on top there, we're calling them to say, come, pick up a stone and hit a bird. So, but we've got to keep on flying higher, and we we can't say
Sky is
because
the limit.
we can't say because we are on top. Now we're gonna sit.
Yeah,
We
relax.
must keep on going higher.
Yeah.
But for us to go higher, we need to maintain that standard of Mamelodi Sundowns, and it also starts from training, the behavior-wise.
Professionalism.
Exactly, those kind of things. The players, they have to be professional. They have to understand what is also expected of them in terms of the part of discipline, in terms of the medical side. Taking care of themselves as an athlete. It doesn't only depend on the coach and the medical side. The girls themselves also, they must also do some extra work when we are not doing anything.
Yeah. Complacency is known all around, and I think if you've been part of a winning team for too long, sooner or later you need to start refreshing the team so that somebody who's hungrier, wants to win things, come in. How big a part does that play, number one, in your recruitment, number two, and just in team morale, or just being around champions? Like for example, what I've learned and I've seen with the guys is that you always have somebody to pass the baton on to the next crowd and onto the next group. But what I'm happy about is you said you had the under 14s playing with the seniors. I mean, that stuff dreams are made of.
Yeah.
5 years from now, she's 19.
She's
She's still a young.
More experience.
Yes.
Yeah, true. No, we've realized that we can't keep on poaching players. We sat down with the management and say it's good for us to have the development side. Look, we've got about 2 teams from the development side. We've got the under 13s and the under 17s. And for us to be able to maintain, and for us to be able to have players that will pass the baton, it's very good to have them from our academy, especially they understand what is required of them. So hence you've seen the 14-year-olds making the lineup. Just a typical example, just to make a typical example, we've got a bulky striker in Andisi Umkoy. Even in the development side, we do have a bulky striker in Lumka Takeka. We also got Tweni Murifi, who's a pacey left winger.
Matrap.
Yeah, Matrap. And in the development side, we've got Monash Mongwara, who came on the tournament, and same style as Tweni Murifi, who came into the tournament just to come and give the game and change the complexion of the game from a 14-year-old. And it really excites me. So basically, for us to maintain, we need them from the development.
Yeah. Let's talk Cosafa.
Are you ready?
Cosafa,
Yeah.
There's a point I wanted to make, just to add on to what Sugar and Coach also said, right?
Yeah.
Mamelodi Sundowns places themselves as the motivator. And let me make an example. Right now, when we were watching the World Cup, and we saw an example in Celeste. She was a 19-year-old who won the youngest player for the FIFA World Cup. She's played in 2018 for the under-17 squad, which Karabo Dlamini from Mamelodi Sundowns was also part of that squad, and Coach Lulu was sitting on the bench as the coach. And she also won with the under-20. And now for the 3rd time, she's winning it with the senior team. She's now won 3 World Cups, and she's only 19. Now that sets an example, and that really gives back to the development, because there is a young kid who is in our development structures who also wants to be like Celeste when she grows up. And that should be something that motivates. And when you're speaking about how Sundowns is sitting at the top, but there's always going to be competition, that on its own is also motivation. Because come the rest of the other teams, they look at Mamelodi Sundowns and they say, you know what, we actually want to contend with that team. It gives the league a little bit of a reputation, and we get to the score lines that are different. It's no longer the 10 margins, 8 goal margins, you know what I'm saying? Now that the goal difference becomes lower and lower, and that's because now they've seen Mamelodi Sundowns investing in their players, in the structure, in the system, and now they go back and they want to do the same, So now it dignifies the league. So we need to place ourselves in the places where Mamelodi Sundowns is doing it, and the rest of
anti-Diski. Anti-Diski for you.
We be one is.
We begin with a man. No,
Cosafa Cup.
Yeah.
How important is it?
Yeah, look, Cosafa, it's very, very important.
Yeah.
Because Cosafa, it's a qualifiers for CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
If you don't win Cosafa, you're not going to compete in a CAF Champions League, So it's a very, very important competition for us, and we've got to go out there and win it. We're not going to try, but we've got to go there and win Cosafa. Yeah.
How difficult is it?
It's very, very difficult, especially Naves after
the previous season.
Except the previous season, we we only had one game to prepare.
Yeah.
In between, you know, a competitive game, and all of a sudden now you're moving out. You go into Cosafa, a very very difficult one. You get teams from different countries. You know why am I saying it's difficult? Because you don't get to have the videos of those teams in terms of how they play. But for us, they've got our videos. We are exposed. They know everything about us.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a challenge for us to play Cosafa. But we must rely on our strength, you know, which is something that we've been doing good in terms of us competing in that competition. Yeah.
Sugar, playing in Africa. You've got the experience. You've got the T-shirt. How difficult was it for you?
Yeah, you know, this question always comes up, and the most difficult part of playing in Africa and playing in the continental competitions, it's mostly the traveling.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get enough rest in between, then you've got a shortage of
Legs.
legs.
Yes.
You go. Your heart wants to go, but the body is resisting because it needs time to rest. So the traveling has always been a challenge. But I'm really happy to have seen the improvement from our time to where it is now.
Yeah.
Because we used to do crazy hours. We used to do like 8 hours, but now at least even life has changed. That it has accommodated the traveling, that the distance is the same but quicker. How? I don't understand, but the routes have changed.
Yes.
Somehow the routes have changed that makes it much easier for people to travel, and always adjusting to a different climate is not easy. We had to go there a week or two before to acclimatize to whatever we need to expect on game day. But now there's so many games that you don't even have time to acclimatize.
Yeah.
You just arrive, play, get out.
Yeah.
Arrive, come back, you've got another game.
Yeah.
When you get here, you don't even have time to be home.
Yeah, that leads to my next question, is to say how accommodating, please. Yes. So. You're sweating, eh?
Yeah, we are working.
You're working.
He did.
Coach, how accommodating is the league to the travels?
Yeah, look, the league is very, very accommodating. We really appreciate what our association is doing for us. They communicate with us prior to say, because during these days you guys will be away to Cosafa. You guys want to push your game forward, or you want to play them when you come back. So they're giving us that opportunity to say whether you want to play them first or maybe you want to play them back.
Yeah.
So the SAFA is being supportive on that note.
Auntie Diski, I need you to go on these African trips and just feel that thing. I did one.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, where was I going?
Oh, but so.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
You fly 8 hours,
Yeah.
you are in transit for 6. The connecting is another 4 hours. You get to there, your transport is not there. The
And
thing
the bus
you
hasn't
must
arrived.
wait.
It hasn't arrived.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, this was 2016.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that it's gotten a lot better. But these African trips,
Is not make sure.
is not make sure.
But perhaps that speaks to the upgrade or the investment of infrastructure,
Yes.
right, on the African continent.
Yes.
Because we do these international trips, and for international trips, if you're going to New Zealand or you're going to USA,
Yeah.
most of the time you are not dealt with such inconveniences, you
Yeah.
know. Perhaps there isn't close enough
Yes.
stadiums to the hotels. Perhaps also the airlines, you know, Akuna British Airways and that kind of thing. But I think then it's a transition of the whole global economic conversation more than it's got to do with sports. But I definitely have heard a lot of stories when you go to Africa. Hey,
It's lit.
ziyabuya.
But I
Can't
think
wait
it's
for my
better
trip.
now. It's a lot better than it was before.
I believe so too.
I hope so. With us, it's far better. You know, we don't travel like the boys.
Yes.
Yeah, when we go to play Champions League, we'll be situated in one area.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to travel that much. You'll travel maybe a week before, then you'll be situated there. The pitches, stadiums are not that far. It's about 10 to 15 minutes drive, so it's better for us.
Yeah, no. That
Excuse for the chance.
No, listen, for the chance,
Excuse
it's
for
a
the
movie.
chance.
I'll never forget walking around Egypt, and we just wanted to just see the city, and they said, no, you need security. You can't just and I'm just like, guys, I can see where I'm going. It's over there. It's very interesting, but I'm glad that it's become a lot, inverted commas, easier, and also the facilities and just Africa in general is growing. Before I even wrap this up, I want to find out, do you think that in the next 5 to 10 years, and individually, we'll be able to attract maybe players from North Africa to want to play in our league, maybe players from Europe to want to come and play in our league? What is it going to take for the South African Women's League to be able to be top 10 in the world?
I'll start. Ladies first, I guess. Yeah. I think in the next 10 years, it's a realistic goal.
Yes.
We can gradually get there. I think the 20th century is one where we can actually say that we're seeing a lot of brand visibility when it comes to women in sports.
Yes.
So I do have hope, and I believe that in 10 years' time, we can, be attracting internationals. We have already started.
Yes.
I mean, there are teams that do have international. Sundowns, we also do have. But I think it goes with the sponsorship and the investment in these teams. First of all, professionalizing the league, getting to that would be the first step. And then also getting the brands in terms of corporate or whoever it is to put some injection of, finance, so that it's a monetary conversation at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I believe if our infrastructure, our development structures, the system and everything is up to par compared to the other leagues, and we become more of a competitive league, we are definitely going to be signing some stars from, across Africa and across Europe. So I definitely think it's a realistic window.
Yeah.
We just need to all align holistically to make sure that we get there. But I definitely see it. And South Africa, we've placed ourselves as the bar that Sundowns is. I think it can definitely start from here.
Definitely.
Yeah, Neves, look, I'm one fortunate guy. We've already got a few players from South America.
Yes.
That wanted to come down to Mamelodi Sundowns. It was just a pity that the foreign...
start taking Spanish and
lessons. Or you're going to get Alenda to translate for you.
No, we'll do that. Yeah. For us, it doesn't have to be even 10 years.
Yeah.
Like I said already, there are a few players from South America who contacted me to say, Coach, we're interested in joining Mamelodi Sundowns, And when I looked at it, it was just a pity that the code for international players.
Okay.
Yeah, we had already filled those spaces.
Okay.
And there was really one that was really, exciting in terms of playing.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I'll make a plan for this one. And I still need to engage management. And said we need this one down. Possibly we'll have her down sometime next year.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it's not even a period of 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've already got a few who wants to come down.
Oh, less than 12 months. Sugar?
Yeah. It gives us so much confidence to hear that the brand Mamelodi Sundowns is being recognized globally, not only with the senior men's team, but also the ladies team. It shows that there is something truly good that is taking place within the corridors of Clorkop that is really being a voice not only for Mamelodi Sundowns but for football as a whole in South Africa. People begin to recognize the work that is being done, because we've always wanted to be a global team. So being able to attract players from overseas. I heard one of the interviews from one of the players at the World Cup saying that Banyana plays so well, yet they don't have a proper league. If they were to have a proper league, they could be serious contenders of winning the World Cup. That says a lot coming from people who are outside the country. So if we can just invest more in the league and support women, already we've got people coming into the country that would really make the league more interesting and more fun. And that gives us another trophy to win.
Amazing.
I like that.
My final question, what is your goal for women's football, or what is your dream for women's football in this country? Coach, what is your goal as well for the team? Where do you want to see it going? What are your goals for the second part of the season? And Sugar, what is the big dream? Where are we looking at in the next 2-3 years?
With me, what I like when I see, I just feel that women's football is going in the right direction. That has attracted even supporters coming into the stadiums. In the past, you only had your family to come and support you. But now you see people investing, knowing the players by name, knowing the opposition teams, knowing the teams that are competing within the league. That says a lot that the work that is being done in women's football is really attractive. People are starting to take consideration of what women are doing, and we support. women always advocated that they need more support, and then now
Amazing.
seeing the nation being able to support, whether you are supporting that team or not, but supporting women's football as a
Yeah.
whole, because it unites the nation. I've seen how when Banyana play, the whole nation is like, we wake up at
Behind
1 o'clock
them.
to watch the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
So that's what we really need as a nation, to have activities that bring us together. And I'm really proud of the ladies that what they're doing. It shows that there is a bright future for us in South Africa.
Amazing. Coach?
Yeah, Naves, for us as a team, there's a huge possibility that the Club World Cup is coming.
Yes.
So we want to be the first team to represent Africa in
Yes.
a Club World Cup, and we want to compete with those European teams, South American teams.
Yeah.
So to see how far are we, but I believe that we've got what it takes for us to become top team in the world, not only in
Yes.
Africa,
Yeah.
but in
Yes.
the world. So that's where we're focusing right now with the team, to say, let's go out and compete in a bigger stage, which
Amazing.
is Club World Cup.
Amazing.
For me, it's to continue changing the narrative in terms of women in sports and women in football. I think a lot of people that know me know I am a big advocate for women in sports.
Yeah.
In the awards that I have won for social media platforms, it was basically creating awareness.
Yes.
I've created spaces where we were talking about the league and actually
Yes.
building awareness of who these players are.
Yes.
I want to see stadiums ditletse
Yeah.
because it's a females game.
Yeah.
The way we did with the World Cup, we can bring it home as well. Even if it meant gore re tlo dlala a ladies game before the men's game or whatever it takes, just so for us to all of us to just bring in the support, because we talk about it, we have these conversations, and it's a minimal number of us, but then we need to get to the people that don't know about this kind of information, for them to also to come to the games, and for maybe parents to also allow their girl child
Yes.
to actually kick a ball.
100%.
Because that's another problem. You've got a very talented girl, Odula Nkokasi, who
Yeah.
loves kicking the ball, but unfortunately it's a bit of a culture shift
Yeah.
for parents to get to that point where you can go play football. And if it's not if it's not professionalized, you're not going to bring money home.
100%.
So it's all these small pieces of things that we want to do to create change. But that's my dream, to continue being an advocate for women, so that we can also have Bo Serena Williams in the football spaces of
Amazing.
Africa.
100%. Pitchside Podcast, and that's it from us. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got to do this again
Yes.
when we
Definitely.
Club World
Yeah.
Cup. And we
I
want
like
the
it.
trophy.
Yeah, we'll
here.
put it here.
Kosafa Trophy, it's coming back home.
All of
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Say no more. Thank you very much, Masanda.
Subscribe.
And don't forget to click
Subscribe.
and subscribe. Sure.